La 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 para pam 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 pararam. My gorgeous people, this is your weekly horoscope tarot card forecast, and it's in between the 7th and the 13th of June 2021. So this weekly horoscope tarot card forecast is in between the 7th and the 13th of June 2021. And I would like to say that of course this week is going to be quite significant purely because we do have the start when it comes to the actual number 7. Number 7 is a very powerful number, and it's a lot to do with our personal recognition, our personal realization that is pretty much so necessary for us in order to move on with our lives, which on another hand, you see, so it is going to be something really precious that we are going to find out when it comes to our specific spiritual journey indeed. But on another hand, when it comes to the actual 13, this is like all about the actual transformation, and it's about a really big moment in time that we are going to have this week also when it comes to, you know, us realizing something so important, but purely it is going to lead us towards the direction of our own personal transformation. And also we are going to see and we are going to come across something quite unusual and something quite different and something quite bizarre, but this in itself is also going to be playing an important role when it comes to making a quite significant decision later on in time to come. So I would like to start this horoscope tarot card forecast with my gorgeous and with my ever so precious Aries. My gorgeous Aries, you know, it's just such an important moment in time because you are actually going to become aware of two really important possibilities, two really important situations, two really important opportunities, you know, and this in itself is going to put a big smile on your face, and it's going to make you instantly feel really good about yourself, about your present moment, most certainly, and also about your future. So it's just, you know, also like it's worth to pay attention to the moments when you feel really kind of happy and excited, what exactly is on your mind at that very moment in time. So that is going to be a sign that you need to pay attention to it, you know, because it's also going to be at around like a two quite significant revelations, and you know, this is so significant and important for you, my gorgeous Aries, because it's going to be playing an important role when it comes to the next 9 weeks. This is going to be all about the certain planning, about the next steps, about which important steps you need to take, what is important, what is not important to you. So it's really, really significant also to remember that there is a very strong part of you from the past. It's going to require from you to pay attention to it, you know, and so it's just kind of like you're gonna have a moment with yourself that is just going to connect you and reconnect you with your past, but that in itself it's gonna be really kind of like superb when it comes to your situation, because it's also going to reveal exactly which part of yourself and exactly which part of your life is really missing, you know, missing big time at this moment in time, and it's just going to give you an opportunity to reflect on it in such a powerful and deep and wise way, which is going to bring you a really powerful outcome when it comes to you really trying to make a decision and plan, and it's pretty much so to do with your future planning. So you will see kind of what is exactly missing in your life, but most certainly what you should kind of pay attention to in order to bring it into your life, because it's going to bring you an insight, but at the same time it's just going to help you when it comes to your future planning. So this is going to be the great eye-opener, my gorgeous Aries, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. So now I'm just sorry my babies, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards, my gorgeous Aries, my gorgeous Aries, and this is for you. I'm just going to see what is going to be an oracle card at this very moment in time. I mean, I know that you are going to have an enlightening experience, but most certainly look at this, see the truth. And this is to you, this is going to mean absolutely everything, because it's just going to clear out so much confusion, but most certainly it's just going to make you feel really solid, very solid, when it comes to you, when it comes to your planning, when it comes to your future, when it comes to you just really kind of like finally feeling your feet on the ground, you know. And this in itself is just going to internally, when it comes to your spirituality and when it comes to your subconscious mind, is going to start opening so many doors to you. So you are going to see an important truth. This is going to be so significant to you, and you're going to feel something that you didn't feel in a long time. So you will know that it's time to move on with certain parts of your life, you know, and you will know what is relevant in your life, and you will know what is not relevant in your life. Okay, so now excuse me, I'm sorry, the second sign that I'm going to be talking about, sorry, so I just don't get confused here. My little paper here, you see, with the signs here. So the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurinis, my gorgeous Taurus. I love you so much, but you know, you are just going to find yourself like in some kind of like a center of attention this week, and this is nothing unusual, because you're very powerful, you're very solid, you're very grounded, you're very spiritual. You've got this absolutely undeniable wisdom about you, so people do feel rather comfortable when they're around you, because you just kind of feel very firmly about the certain things that maybe lots of people would take kind of like a while to answer or reply. So this is a really great quality. So it's nothing unusual that you are going to find yourself being in some kind of center of attention. When I say some kind of center of attention, this is to do with people in your life, people who are important to you. Oh yes, someone is going to be going through something quite unusual, something quite uncertain, something quite uneasy, but you are the one who is going to have the necessary answer. You are the one who is going to be having a healing energy. So it's a really worth to pay attention to, because somebody who is so close to you, who you love so much, who is important to you is going through something very difficult because of somebody else, and you are the one who can kind of step in. But you need to be very careful, you need to be very clever, and you need to be rather tactical as well at the same time. And you are brilliant when it comes to these things anyway. So when it comes to you socially, in general, you know, you are going to be like a kind of in a center of attention. On another hand, this is really important to really do pay attention to people in your life this week, people who are important to you, because through them you are going to get hold of some kind of very interesting information, and that information is going to open your eyes, but it's also at the same time going to light up the way on your own journey, because of this absolutely mind-blowing confirmation that you are going to have. Very important and very necessary for you, because it's just going to confirm things that you weren't kind of too sure about, but subconsciously you were just leading around these things, you know, through your own subconscious. So you really can't go wrong, and then you just basically just find out at certain moment in time you get this confirmation that it's really important. On another hand, my gorgeous Taurinis, you know, you are going to find yourself like really kind of like going through your own personal rebirth, you know. And when you are going through your own personal rebirth, it is just like some kind of decision that you're going to feel very strongly that you need to make. And this decision is so important, you know. This decision is like so significant, and it's most certainly going to change your life in so many different ways. But this is only the beginning, and it's only the decision that you are going to make. It's fantastic, because you will see that decision, it's again going to be pretty much so connected to other people in your life that are so important to you, you know. And you know, that decision, it's not only going to change your life, it's not only going to be really beneficial for you and to you, but it's also going to be very important when it comes to the people in your life that are actually so significant. And also, you know what I mean, not even 2 months later, at around 2 months later exactly, you're actually going to have a mini celebration, you know, when it comes to the outcome of this decision that you've actually made. So it's only going to take 2 months until you see the process, until you see the progress. So of course, my lord, it's important to just basically pay attention to anything that's calling you, anything that's interesting, and most certainly in particular like anything weird that you find yourself around, anything bizarre, anything strange, this is all to do with your spirit calling you, and just kind of like act and react to these specific situations, because very often, you know, we realize in life our job is to be weird, our job is to be bizarre, our job is to be different. Why do I say this? Because only by allowing ourselves to be who we are, to some people you can come across like really bizarre and strange, but this is exactly what you do and what you need to do when it comes to your spiritual journey. You just have to allow yourself to be yourself. This is rather important. And on another hand, you can expect a very, very significant information. News. I'm talking about the news. You know, somebody's going to come through, somebody's going to come forward, and it's going to give you very important news. And this in itself, it's going to be so strong and such a strong and powerful moment, but it's pretty much so connected to your personal accomplishment. This is going to mean to you quite a lot, and it's also at the same time you're going to realize that something is going to come to the surface, you know, something very important. The hidden emotion is going to reveal exactly which part of your life slowly came to an end, and you should just cut it out slowly. Okay, so now I'm just going to see what is going to be an oracle card of the week. La 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 la. My gorgeous Taurus, your oracle card is my Lord. You see this, like I'm in tune with all the spirits right now, as usually I am, of course, but look at this. What is it saying? Love that you are different. What did I just say to you? You see, you need to allow yourself to be yourself. I mean, my Lord, what a kind of like a crazy confirmation this actually is. So you see, love that you are different, and as soon as that happens, you know, you just basically speed up the process in your life, because it just helps you out to reflect in a very powerful way. But at the same time, you get a personal reward, and something has got such a powerful jump, you know, because you see here, it's like a little bunny, little rabbit, you know, and it's pretty much so spiritually, it's something really cute, something really nice, but something that moves pretty quickly, something that it's going to make a big jump. This is your little bunny in your rabbit that it's about to manifest, like your personal karmic reward. So as soon as you kind of allow yourself to be different, this is what this actual energy is doing. Very important, my gorgeous Taurus, indeed. So the third sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Gemini. My gorgeous Gemini, I love you so much, you know, but you just need to be aware of the fact that somebody's going to try to wind you up just a little bit, you know. Somebody's going to try to wind you up just a little bit. And what you need to remember is just basically that at the same time, you know, it's going to seem like a little bit, the situation is going to seem a little bit strange and a little bit bizarre, purely because you're going to feel like you've got quite a lot on your shoulders. So when you feel that moment in time, this is when you're going to feel at the same time some kind of pressure that it's also going to be building, you know. And this is going to be a sign just to be like a little bit careful when you feel a little bit of pressure building, in particular when it comes to you feeling like you've got quite a lot on your shoulders, and I think that, you know, you're gonna feel like it's a lot down on you, but you need to take the most out of the situation, and at the same time you need to understand that this is your sign, and take it very sacredly, that you are going to be kind of tested. I'm sorry, you are going to be tested a little bit, you know, when it comes to people that are very important to you in your life, who are going to kind of wind you up a little bit. But this is just so important for you to understand that this is just all about your own patience, and as long as you keep on top of things, as long as you keep on being optimistic, you know, try to kind of like, when you feel things like that you've got like a lot on your shoulders, a lot on your back and things like that, you know, at the same time you just need to understand that this is the time that, you know, this is the time that is slowly coming to an end when it comes to the certain pressure in your life. You know what they say, you know, it needs to get worse in order to get better. This is exactly what I'm telling you about. You are going to have such a specific and very important moment this week of your own spirituality. So this in itself is just not going to seem like significant at all, significant whatsoever. So this is just like going to be like a little bit of a test that is just going to bring you a remarkable reward. So you will have, on another hand, like a very, very important, like a spiritual experience experience something. It's going to happen like out of the blue. It's going to be bizarre. It's going to be strange. It's going to be unusual, but you will know it's like, oh my God, it's not like from this world. Almost it's like going to feel like it's something like it's not from this world, which is exactly what is going to happen. And at that very moment in time, you are going to find yourself in a slightly different dimension. I must say this to you, that you are going to become aware of a very important sign. The sign that you are going to have, this is going to be so personal to you. This is going to be so important to you. It's going to be such a great moment of an omen that you're going to have of your own sign. This is going to be absolutely one of the most interesting signs that you had in a long time. And as I said, it really depends what this is going to be, because you know it is just depends on your spiritual journey and on your personal situation as well. But you will know that this is your sign by the time you get to the last 3 days this week. You know, you will be going through a very powerful and strong confirmation. You're going to become aware of the certain vision when it comes to your future, and that vision is going to make you feel so strong and so solid about yourself and about your journey, and most importantly about what are you actually going to do next, you know. And anything that is negative and anything that is weird and anything that is bizarre is just really going to become completely irrelevant. So it doesn't really matter. You are going to become aware of something that is going to be calling you when it comes to the actual future and future planning. It's something that was on your mind before, and you kind of like put a little stop on it. So now this is the time that you don't need to kind of, oh yeah, let's just go and plan this, blah blah blah. No baby, no. But it's pretty much so about you just focusing on it. As soon as you focus on it, you direct your own energy. As soon as you direct your own energy, you just start making things happen like without even realizing. So this is really, really important, because exactly 4 months later from this moment in time, 4 months later, exactly 4 months later, you are going to find yourself on an absolutely mind-blowing spiritual journey when it comes to this future planning. This is most certainly going to take off. So now I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards, my gorgeous Gemininis, and I'm going to see what is going to be an oracle card of the week. Okay, so I'm just going to see what is going to be an oracle card of the week. Okay, so of course my gorgeous Gemininis, that you've got like 3 bam bam bam. Okay, so this is absolutely crazy. Like, this is my God. The spirits in this room are like dancing with me. When I'm singing, they're like dancing with me at the same time. But also they're dancing with me when I'm taking these cards out. Look at this. What did I say to you that it's going to actually happen? See the signs. This is important because it's going to answer your questions when it comes to the broad journey, you know, the broad subjects, more than one subject, you know. See the signs. That's exactly what I was talking about. Look at this, my gorgeous Gemininis. Very, very important indeed. Your second oracle card is Seek Your Destiny. You see, this is an important moment purely because we are having a very powerful numbers when it comes to this week. To the beginning of this week and the end of this week are going to be absolutely mind-blowing, purely because of the actual numerology and the numbers behind it. So it doesn't surprise me that this is pretty much so, you know, it's going to open you up when it comes to your subconscious mind, and it's just going to make you to kind of just see the bigger picture, but also at the same time to seek your destiny. And that in itself, it's also going to reflect on your own courage as well. So you will find yourself like doing things and trying to do things that you wouldn't normally have a courage to do. You see, you were born to create. That's your third oracle card, my gorgeous Gemini. You see, you were born to create, which means a very strong and powerful sign, you know. The movement creates the energy. Just remember, the more you move, the more energy you are create. But this is going to be magical and miraculous energy at the same time. The more you create, the more you move, the more creative you're going to be. The more creative you are, the more you're going to achieve, the more you're going to attract. So this is the time also like to be as creative creative as you can. Remember, number one, to be as creative as you can, but number two, it's also brilliant when it comes to the actual planning. So this is absolutely fantastic. So the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Cancerini, my gorgeous Cancer. You know what? Something is just going to come to you this week and you're going to be like, oh my God, why didn't I do this before? Why was I waiting for so long? And no, baby, no. Things happen in our lives when they're meant to happen according to our spiritual journey. If they didn't happen the way we wanted them to happen, how we wanted them to happen, that means that we haven't kind of fulfilled our own spiritual journey and our own karma. Until we do this, then the reward bounces back and the reward comes back, and then we are able to act in the best possible way. My gorgeous Cancerini, something is actually going to come to you very, very important, and you must not ignore this. You know, this is pretty much so to do with your personal security when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your financial future, but when it also comes to you feeling so great, feeling so good, and when it comes to you feeling so fantastic about yourself by achieving something really incredible in life, which is not going to happen like this week necessarily, but it's just about this moment that you will have. What is going to come to you is the idea. It's the idea that is going to come to you at the moment in time when you become aware of the certain accomplishment. You may not become aware of that accomplishment like you hear the news or somebody tell you something. You know, this is all about the actual you becoming aware of your own accomplishment, just reflecting on your situation, and then suddenly you just start giving credit to yourself. This, pam, 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 it's an important moment when you start giving credit to yourself, because at the same time, this is the time that you need to know that there is an idea, specific idea that is going to come, but there is a little warning when it comes to that idea. You must not wait too long, and you must not get kind of like lost in the mist by thinking that you can do that in many days to come and things like that. There is going to be some kind of a little bit of urgency, spiritual urgency attached to it when it comes to you kind of like taking the necessary step. You know, this is an important step to take when it comes to you reflecting on that idea that you are going to have. I repeat that idea is pretty much so to do with your finances, your personal security in the future, your future planning and doing and making the right thing. Okay, on another hand, you know, it's just like, I know that this is going to make you feel like a little bit of this indecisive as well, but then again, you know, it's important to follow your own spiritual journey. It's important to think how you feel about things. It's important sometimes, you know, to go around and keep on asking people or trying to kind of like reflect on your situation through other people. This is pretty much so to do with yourself. So when you find yourself like being an indecisive, when you find yourself having an indecisive moment, you know, you need to know that this is going to be cleared off like pretty quickly, but at the same time it's just all going to be literally down to you. Okay, so now my gorgeous Cancerini, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards and I'm going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Okay. My gorgeous Cancerini, I'm just going to see what is going to be an oracle card of the week. Very important indeed. You know, I want to say before I take this oracle card out that you are, you know, you will be going through the actual process of transformation. So in particular, when it comes to the 12th and the 13th of June, these 2 days, my Lord, you know, something is just going to trigger within you. Something is going to happen and it's going to give you such an important courage. This courage is something that is going to open an important portal to you at the same time. Be vigilant. You see this, what this oracle card is saying, my gorgeous Cancerini? Be vigilant. Pay attention to signs. Open your eyes and go by your feelings. Go by your emotions. Go use your intuition. This is very, very important, my gorgeous Cancerini, indeed. And show that you care. You see, please, please, please show that you care. Somebody around you, like who is important to you, who is significant to you, is just going to need a little bit of love, a little bit of emotions. And also when it comes to the actual you helping out someone is going to need your help again. I've seen this before, but it's important for you to understand this, because this is going to return to you 1,000 times more. Not that I'm saying this to you to do this to help because you can get help back. No, No, baby, no. I'm just saying that karmically this is going to be playing an important role when it comes to its return and when it comes to your own personal spiritual enlightenment. Okay, so now you see this is the problem here that I'm having, because my little, it's turning around, sorry. So now the next sign that I'm sorry, la 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 la. Sorry, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leone. My gorgeous Leo, I love you so much. This is a very, my God, you know what? It is just like the power that you're gonna feel, the excitement that you're going to feel, the optimism that you're going to feel, you know? It's just all going to happen like really suddenly for you, you know, and this is important because on the 7th of June, on the very first day this week, pretty much so you're going to start feeling like very, very much so different. This is going to be quite miraculous because you're not going to be able to understand where this is coming from, but it is going to reflect on your energy. It is going to reflect on your healing. It is going to heal many aspects of you that are due for the actual healing, especially when it comes to all the kind of darkness that you have been through the last 12 to 13 months. It has been very difficult. It has been very hard, and it has been very dark many times, you know, every step of the way. There was a lot going on in Leone's life, my gorgeous Leos. There was a lot going on in your life. And what happens then? You just end up accumulating the certain amount of energy within you, which can be rather negative, and it can slow you down, and you don't even realize this as such. You only realize like kind of it drains your energy kind of to the point like really quickly, and you notice like, oh my God, my energy is drained like really quickly. So this is something that, you know, you don't necessarily notice in any other way, but it's just like basically drains your energy, and then that has got an ultimate impact on your overall performance. But what am I trying to say is that when you reach the actual 7th of June, please pay attention to on this particular day, 7th and 8th of June. But 7th is very important to pay attention to signs, 7th and 8th, sorry, to pay attention to signs, to pay attention to how you feel, to pay attention to synchronicities, because, you know, on the 7th of June, from that moment in time, you will be able to feel very energetic. And this is what I was going to say. Only when you get to this particular point on the 7th of June, you will know, you will feel, my gorgeous Leon, is this energy change, and it's going to reflect on you, and it's just going to bring you lots of happiness, lots of smiles, lots of excitement, and that energy is like, oh my God. At the same time, it gives you beautiful, big, beautiful angel wings, you know, and then you just kind of flow so much easier. And that's the moment in time that you will feel like pam pam pam, a big, big moment, you know, when it comes to like this energy change. You know, your energy field is just going to start like kind of reflecting on your specific energy in such a wonderful way, and this is gonna in return gonna make you feel very strong, and it's gonna kind of brush up on your own self-esteem. Not that you need this, but in itself, on top of everything, it's just going to be super beneficial when it comes to your own courage, because you will see what is going to happen this week. By the end of this week, you're going to come across the situation that you're going to respond in a completely different week, purely because everything that was happening on the 7th and the 8th of June. So by the time when you get to that, at the end of the week, you are just going to respond in a very much so not an abrupt way, but in a very strong and powerful way, having your feet on the ground very firmly when you wouldn't normally have them. What do I mean by that? You know, you're just going to be very strong when you respond and reply to the specific situation, and you're just going to kind of like really want to kind of come across in a certain way, and you're going to be uncertain what the actual outcome is going to be. But you know what? Most certainly you are going to be rewarded for this. It's going to bring you success, but it's also going to bring it the realization that the very kind of dark and negative journey just slowly came to an end. And this is what the 13th of June is going to bring a big process of the actual transformation for you, my gorgeous Leonis. On the 13th of June, you just need to pay attention, really pretty much so, what part of your life came to an end, because something is going to be making you very sad and very unhappy and very uneasy, and that particular situation is something you need to pay attention to to, because simply you need to cut it out of your life. You are going to be rewarded for very much so being patient this week. You have been patient so beautifully, so nicely, and now this week you're going to be rewarded for it indeed. On another hand, just pay attention to the actual advice from somebody very powerful, somebody very strong, and somebody very spiritually minded person, you know, somebody who is very successful in many different ways, but also somebody who is rather spiritual in a very unique and very quirky way. This particular person is just going to inspire you at the right moment, at the right time. So when you are thinking about this specific spiritual person, you also at the same time, you need to pay attention to any synchronicity or anything that makes sense to you or anything that doesn't make sense to you. It's all going to be part of a very significant spiritual journey that is going to show you the way. So now, my gorgeous Leonis, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards, my gorgeous Leonis, and I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Okay, so what is going to be your... Know your fears. This is important, because by knowing your fears, you know yourself. By focusing on your fears, you're focusing on yourself. By paying attention to your fears, you're also lightening up so much around you. And by doing this, you're only reaching the highest stage of your own spiritual existence. You are, yet again, going to be reminded, my gorgeous Leonis, this week, something that is just going to really scare you, and something that is going to get you really worried, and something that is going to, oh my God. But that in itself, my gorgeous Leonis, is important for you to focus on, to think about it. Why exactly this is scaring you? Why exactly you're finding this particular situation scary? Because there it's going to be massive, huge, enormous, big mama confirmation that you are going to have, and it's pretty much so about you embracing your own spirit. Okay, about you being you, and reminding yourself that that's the only way in this world to actually succeed and make the most of your own spiritual journey. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Virgo. My gorgeous Virgolini, I love you so, so, so much, you know. It is like going to be the moment that you're going to have, my Lord, you're also going to be pretty much so affected on the actual 7th of June. So the 7th of June, you know, from the moment, my Lord, from the moment, this is why I did this videos like slightly earlier, because I want to give you a little bit of time to kind of prepare spiritually and mentally. Okay, so as earlier you watch this video, the better is actually going to be when it comes to the preparation. No, you don't have to prepare absolutely anything, but I'm just saying, as soon as you watch this video, as soon as you know what is coming, then at the same time your subconscious mind is just going to start kind of taking over, and it's going to be planted in your subconscious mind. So by the time you get to the actual 7th of June and that particular week, you're already going to be prepared on this situation, you know. So this is the power of our third psychic eye, pineal gland, and our subconscious mind. You know, this is something that is so much more powerful than so many people can possibly imagine. And we reflect on things without thinking. We find out things without even knowing, you know. We are aware of things without even kind of having the certain experiences in our lives. So this is all part of our spiritual journey and things that we have been in this life and in our past lives. You know, we live many lives. We die and then we are reborn again. So this is why this is so important. 7th of June, you know, this morning, from the moment you wake up, you know, something is going to feel different, my gorgeous Virgolini. Something is going to seem very bizarre and very strange. By the same time, almost immediately, almost instantly, something specific is going to be on your mind. This in itself you need to pay attention to, because it's a strong part of your own personal direction that you should follow. So you don't get distracted by things that you shouldn't be distracted, then you just basically follow your own specific journey. So from the moment you wake up, my gorgeous Virgolini, in the morning, you are going to be aware of a very specific part of your journey that you should be paying attention to. This is significant in so many different ways. On another hand, you will know almost instantly that, as I said, what to do. And also, you know, you are gonna have a really, really kind of like a, by the end of that day on the 7th of June, you know, you are you know, something is going to be on your mind, and you must not ignore it. This is a very strong time that it's going to carry on towards the rest of that week. 7th, it's gonna be like that, and then when it comes to the actual 8th of June, it's gonna be even more significant, because the 8th of June, 8th and 9th and 10th of June are going to bring you a specific message, very important information and message you are going to have about something having a quite quick jump when it comes to your life. Something is going to move on quite quickly, and then my gorgeous Virgolinis, you will realize that you must not ignore things in life that makes you feel happy. You must not ignore things in life that makes you feel delighted. You must not wait too long in life, you know, to do things that you want to do. You are going to have a very, very specific, very unusual, very bizarre and very mysterious reminder at the same time. You know, something is going to shake you up to the point that you will want to speed up the certain progress in your life. And you know what? Most certainly you should go for it, because by the time you get to the last part of this week, you are going to make like some kind of decision, and this decision is going to be superb and absolutely mind-blowing in so many different ways. But you will at the same time realize and see how much you've actually moved on with your life at the same time. The decision that you're going to make, it's going to be mind-blowing, and you will know that it's going to take a while until you get it, but also exactly the 7 weeks after that are going to be absolutely remarkable when it comes to the unfoldment of events that are going to be the direct reflection of everything that I've actually... See? Of course, can you hear it? This is going to be the direct reflection of everything that was happening so far, and the actual outcome, it's going to be remarkable. So the next 7 weeks are going to be absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to the actual outcome and the reflection of events, you know, that are going to be completely connected to this. And whatever you do, whatever you try to do, whatever you try to make, wherever you turn, you're going to be reminded of exactly who you are, what you want to do, and somehow to not to kind of waste time in your life. But this is real. I know it sounds like, oh god, dark lallish, but then you just don't, you know, this life, it's really short. You know, we are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, you know, you just like life goes like this. So yeah, this is like quite precious, and it's very important about your own reminder, personal reminder that you're going to have, you know. And also, you know, a lot has been going on in your life, my gorgeous Virgolinis, that you have kind of like you have felt your energy being drained so much, and once that happened to you in particular, my gorgeous Virgolini, you kind of lose the sense of direction, you know, because it starts becoming quite misty and cloudy around you. So this is why it's so important, because, you know, a lot is going to become crystal clear, and also, you know, the vision that you are going to have, and that vision, it can happen in so many different ways. That vision can come to you in so many different throughout to so many different realms, you know. Before you have this specific vision that I'm talking about, you know, you need to understand that there are going to be the synchronicities, you know, that are going to be playing an important role. The numbers like 1313 or 777 are going to be like a big mama numbers, very important, because as soon as you become aware of these numbers, whether you see it on your watch, whether you see it on your clock, whether you see it on like wherever you see it, you know, at the same time, this is just going to warn you and let you know that it's not gonna be that the first of all, to pay attention to what was on your mind, it's important, but on another hand, this is your time to let you know specifically that, you know, very soon after that, you're gonna have a moment, deep moment with yourself, where you are gonna be reminded of certain specific things in your life, how it used to be, and this is going to bring you an important key. This is going to bring you an important answer. This is going to bring you an important realization. This in itself is going to open your eyes, and it's going to make your feet to stand even more firmly on the ground. Important, my gorgeous Virgolinis, so much indeed, because, you know, the specific part of yourself from some time ago, from your past, it is just going to become so much more relevant than you would have actually be able to realize at any other moment in in time. And this is what this magical week is going to bring you. Huge, massive, important reminder, the shake up that you will have, and exactly what to do in order to make your life better, in order to be more happy, in order to be more excited. Very, very important indeed. On another hand, this week, sorry, this week, my gorgeous Virgolini, there is also like a very annoying problem coming to an end. You know, a very important conclusion is going to take place, and this is going to put a massive smile on your face, because it's the part of an ongoing problem. It's the part of the long problem. And it's not only that, it's going to make you feel really happy. It's going to instantly reconnect you with people, but most importantly, it's going to bring something rather artistic within you, and it's also going to inspire you, you know. And this inspiration, it's a very positive and it's a very powerful energy. And once we kind of go through, you know, with that particular flow, there is so much that we are able to understand and to connect to when it comes to our personal life and our spiritual journey, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. So I really like it, you know. And when it comes to the worrying, you know, and being worrying about the specific part of your life being very slow when it comes to maybe personal success, you know, things are going to start looking up here. And then in itself there is going to be an important answer there for you as well, because it's just going to show you the different perspective that you weren't aware of as of yet. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolini, know your power. This is not a surprise whatsoever, my gorgeous Virgolini. Know your power. So anything that makes you feel good, anything that makes you feel great, anything that makes you feel happy, that is instantly going to be raising your vibration. So specifically when it comes to this week in particular, I want you to understand that this type of happiness and excitement that you're going to feel, it's not going to be like, oh yeah, just happiness and excitement. No, baby, no. At the same time, this is going to increase your personal energy like so much, so you can use it wisely. You can deal with problems, you can deal with issues from a much higher angle. You're going to be very super wise, you know. You're going to deal with annoying parts of your life, but at the same time you will know what to do. Knowing your power, it's a very important sign that your third psychic eye is going to be wide open, but at the same time, you know, a very specific sign to really do in your life things that you want to do in your life, things that make you feel happy, not things that make other people feel happy. And you see this, have a courage, because you will have a moment, but then you want to do something, you know, when it comes to the next step, and it's like also going to be like, oh God, I'm not too sure. And this is going to happen specifically in between the 11th, 12th and the 13th of June 2021. This is an important part, an integral part of your spiritual journey for you to do this, you know. And you just need to remember, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm not too sure, you know. But then again, you just need to remember it's an important part of your spiritual journey just to have a courage. When it comes to your future and future planning, this is going to be playing an important role. Okay. So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Libra. My gorgeous Libra, I love you so much, you know. And it's just basically, I want to say to you that there is something it's really going to surprise you. It's going to be quite mind-blowing experience that you are going to have when it comes to your surprise, you know. Something is going to surprise you, but it's pretty much so going to be connected to the certain person. And first of all, it's going to be confused feeling. You're not going to be too sure what to think, but then at the same time, that is going to get you thinking, that is going to get you going. And those parts of your life and spiritual journey where you shut yourself out, you know, and it's important because a lot is going to be highlighted. So that in itself is going to bring a little bit of a hermit moment, but at the same time, the hermit moment is when your third psychic eye, it's a very, very powerful, your pineal gland's third psychic eye takes over, and your subconscious mind is like absolutely remarkable. So something is going to come to you, you know, the very important answer that you're looking for, but that answer it's also going to require from you to make a necessary adjustments when it comes to your life and to make the necessary sacrifice. So this is important because exactly 10 weeks later you are going to be really loving your life, and you're going to be enjoying yourself, and you're going to be like be able to really kind of like pick the fruit of your own labor when it comes to your own accomplishment, but when it comes to you feeling really great because you will know that you did the right thing, you know. It's just like a pretty much so connected to the little bit of challenging situation, but then again this is quite important when it comes to you taking the next step as well and allowing yourself to plan, allowing yourself to like kind of feel the different perspective when it comes to your future, you know, because you know this week is also going to begin the actual mark the beginning of the actual changes in your life, my gorgeous Libra, and the changes that you're gonna feel are just going to really become, as the time goes by, more it's going to become more obvious what sacrifice do you need to make in your life, but most importantly what slowly came to an end. What I also absolutely love about this week when it comes to you, my gorgeous Libra, you know, I like it. It's a very spiritual week. It's a very beautiful week. The energy is going to be really, really beautiful, but very strong, very powerful, but very gentle, very interesting, but very bizarre, very beautiful, but very kind of strange, you know, at the same time. But you are going to find this absolutely superb and perfect balance within. When it comes to these things, you are going to find like a perfect balance, my gorgeous Libra. So this is really important because, you know, you are gonna get some kind of like a not direct advice, but you are gonna kind of gather some kind of advice that is so important to you, and that advice is going to be kind of mind-blowing because it is going to change your mind about an important stage, an important aspect of your life that you were like kind of thinking, oh yeah, definitely, but now you're gonna be like, no baby, no. So something is going to open your eyes, and this is important for your eyes to be open like this at this moment in time, because you are most certainly going to be redirected towards the direction that is not only going to create like a spiritual shortcut in your life, but it's also at the same time going to make you feel it's going to redirect you, and it's going to bring you the most important advice that you can give to yourself. Bring you the most important advice that you can give to yourself. It sounds weird, but it's the advice that you're gonna have that you're not gonna get from somebody else, John, Mark, George, you know. No baby, no. It is the advice that you are going to basically gain from the actual situation, and you will know exactly what the best thing for you would be to do. On another hand, my gorgeous Libra, also very important, you know, like I really like this. There is something very happy going to happen, something really great going to happen as well when it comes to the actual relationships and people in your life. I can see happiness, I can see joy, I can see people getting together, I can see people enjoying themselves, I can see people doing their own thing, you know, and this is also going to be connected to the actual time of contentment in your life that you didn't feel in a long time, but also when it comes to people in your life, your immediate home, immediate environment. This is all going to be connected to the actual big change that you're going to start kind of making. This is going to be kind of like the beginning of the certain steps, and this later on, few weeks later down on the line, you will see that, you know, when it comes to your family, home, like best friends and immediate environment, you know, this is all going to be connected to the certain steps that you will want to make in order perhaps to spend more time with people in your life. Perhaps, you know, you will realize how important people are in your life, and even if you haven't got a family, because I understand maybe you haven't got a family, you know, then this is to do with the friends and people who are important in your life, people who are inspiring you, people who are significant. This is all going to be playing an important role. So the specific situation that was creating lots of problems at home is slowly going to come to an end, and I really, really like it because it's going to feel like, oh, thank God, you know, the moment of release. You will be able to relax yourself, you will be able to chill out, and at the same time it's fantastic fantastic week when it comes to the actual smudging your home with a dry sage, when it comes to connecting and reconnecting with the nature, when it comes to meditation, when it comes to grounding. You know, there is a lot that you're gonna gain out of it when it comes to the actual energy, but also when it comes to the insights, it's gonna be remarkable. You know what? And somebody, you know, the certain person, certain male person is going to like really inspire you like there is no tomorrow. The certain male person is going to inspire you. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So when it comes to the actual 11th, 12th, and the 13th of June, pay attention to this male person that is going to inspire you. Something very unusual about this person, something very quirky about this person, something very strange about this person. But then this person is very successful in like many different ways, but also when it comes to their own spirituality, something very spiritual about this person, very bouncing out this absolutely remarkable energy. That person is going to be playing an important role. This could be somebody who's like in your life, but it also could be somebody who is like not in your life like directly. You know, it could be somebody who you look up to and things like that. You know, this person is going to be remarkable from the 11th, in between the 11th, you know, towards the end of the week, 11, 12, 13 of June. These 3 days, like, oh my God, 11th of June specifically is the time of your spiritual reconnection, when you're going to be very strong and very powerful, and this is the beginning of your mini spiritual awakening that you're going to have. And that man that I'm talking about is going to be playing an important role, because it's just going to help you to bring the best out of you. What is in your heart you should be paying attention to. What is in your heart, what you feel in your heart, it's what you should be paying attention to it, especially in particular when the time becomes like quite confusing, and then it kind of like reflects on us and our own dragging and things like that. So this is something you should be paying attention to indeed. So this is going to start the process of your own personal transformation. I can see the little butterfly, my gorgeous Libra. I can see the little butterfly, and this is a very, very powerful and unique and strong sign. And this is what I see when it comes to you, you know, little caterpillar becoming a little butterfly. This is like, oh my Lord, some kind of a God's gift you are going to become aware of when it comes to yourself. We are all having something so beautiful, something so specific and so kind of different and unique about ourselves. We just have to kind of water it, you know, we have to allow it to go on the next step. And this is exactly what is going to happen to you, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Stay strong, my gorgeous Libra. Stay strong, because it's going to be a bit of a tricky dicky this week, you know, and you are going to be kind of challenged in a certain way. You're going to be facing the certain situation. I'm not going to lie to you. You are going to be facing a certain situation, and this is part of this experience that you are going to have. You just need to stay strong. You must not like freak out, like, or you must not like, oh my God, overreact. And maybe I shouldn't use freak out, but maybe overreact. You must not overreact. So as long as you kind of stay cool, as long as you stay calm, you're going to be absolutely fine. You know, this is your stay strong moment that you need to have. This is the part of like the little challenge that you're going to have, but it's more important than you could possibly imagine. So now I just feel like I need to do the second oracle card for you, my gorgeous Libra. You see, have courage. That's another one here. Very, very, look at this beautiful card. Absolutely gorgeous. Have courage, my gorgeous Libra. It is important. Do not slow yourself down on your own spiritual journey. Don't kind of lie to yourself. I'm not saying you're lying to yourself, but you need to see things for what they are when it comes to your life, when it comes to your spiritual journey, when it comes to your future planning, and when it comes to your finances, because you are going to need to have a courage in order to kind of come across the situation that you haven't got to come across in your life. But it's important to understand at the same time to know your own personal power, because it shall be revealed through this situation. Okay, so now The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Scorpione. My gorgeous Scorpio, you know, like, oh my Lord, if anyone is going to feel this week, like most certainly you are going to be able to feel the difference, you know, this week. And I'm keep on saying, look, I'm getting all excited, baby. No, but it's just a difference that you're going to feel. It's about the numbers, it's about the power, it's about the self-esteem, it's about the confidence, it's about the energy, it's about the excitement, it's about the weirdness, it's about being bizarre, it's about being strange and being rewarded for it, you know. It's about paying attention to little things, you know, throughout this week. I repeat, my gorgeous Scorpione, that this week it's starting on the 7th of June and it's going to end on the 13th of June. So it's pretty much so about like an absolutely spiritual moment that you're going to have, but this is going to be different because it's going to help you to reconnect with yourself on a very, very high level. And specifically when it comes to the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, these 3 days are all about this reconnection. It's all about a very, very interesting and unusual and strange and bizarre experience that you're going to have that is actually going to at the same time open your eyes, but it's going to show you the way, and it's also going to redirect you. By the time you get to the actual 12th and the 13th of June, it's all about your own strong feeling and sense of the certain redirection that you need to have. You will know exactly what is missing in your life, but at the same time you will be able to reflect on your own accomplishments in the right way, opposed to like bringing yourself down, or opposed to like not giving enough credit to yourself. You must not do that. You always need to give a credit to yourself as well when the credit is due. The more you give a credit to yourself, to my gorgeous Scorpione, throughout this week, you know, the more you're gonna gain out of it. You're gonna become more stronger, you're gonna become more wiser, and by the time you get to the actual 13th of June, you are gonna have a big mama moment, you know. The 13th of June, it's about the transformation, it's about the surprise, it's about the actual news and information that you are going to have, that it's going to really make you feel in such a way where you will want to kind of cut out a certain part of your life, because you're going to find out certain things about, maybe not necessarily about yourself, but about other things in life that are going to surprise you, really, like kind of it's going to get you think, it's going to get you wonder. But then again, at the same time, you are always very deep, you're very spiritual, you're very aware of like how some people can be really nice and some people can be really, really kind of horrible, you know. Some people can be very like a low energy, and some people are almost like they're not people, basically, you know what I mean? So it's like you're going to become aware of something very, very kind of specific, but it's not to do with your life necessarily, it's to do with other things. But most certainly it's going to surprise you like a big time, but it's going to open your eyes, and it's going to be super beneficial when it comes to you being yourself, and when it comes to you really paying attention to things that you should be paying attention to in your life. And also, you know, at the same time, it is just going to lead you towards the actual adjustment and readjustment on the 13th of June. The 13th of June, I'm keeping on about, you know, I'm picking up the dates now and days, you know, the 13th of June, it's going to be like the time of the actual transformation. This is going to be your personal transformation that is going to surprise you, because you just will see that a specific part of your life just came to an end, and now it's dragging like a big heavy mama, and now it's going to be dragging until you realize, and it's down to you when you're going to realize that this actually came to an end. It's important, my gorgeous Scorpione, now more than ever. On another hand, you know, it is like a quite surprising moment that you're going to have. A message, an important message, and something is going to happen, you know, here. And it's nothing unusual when it comes to this type of energy, this specific vibration, because what it happens also, it's not only about you know, like a mystery and deepness, darkness. No, baby, no. But it's about things moving forward, you know, it's about things happening, it's about things having a jump. And then when that happens, it tempers with our personal vibration and our personal energy, and to the point when we have to respond without thinking too much, without like kind of bringing ourselves down, without overthinking. You see, this is the worst when it comes to you, my gorgeous Scorpione. It's it prevents you from overthinking, so you respond in a particular way, and this comes from somewhere very deep and very spiritual, and most certainly it helps you to respond in an absolutely superb, in a perfect way. So you will do something quite significant in this moment in time this week, and then you are going to plant a little seed without even realizing. 3 months later, exactly 3 months later, you will see exactly how important and relevant this week actually was when it comes to your personal planning, when it comes to your future, but also importantly when it comes to your actually the fact that you need to kind of be open-minded and optimistic. Do not bring yourself down, bring yourself up, my babies. It's important. You are gonna have a moment of like, something is gonna, the message, just remember the message that I said. This is so important and relevant when it comes to the past 8 months. Past 8 months are going to be connected to this message, and this message is going to let you know, and it's going to surprise you that the things started moving on. They didn't only start moving on when it comes to specific situation in your life, but at the same time they moved on quite much further and much further than you could possibly imagine. And that in itself is going to, oh my God, it's the time of success, and it's the time of planning, and it's also the time when the new door is going to be open. This will require from you to be you. You need to allow yourself to be yourself. This is also what this week is going to bring. The more you allow yourself to be yourself, the more you allow your weirdness to come out, the more successful you're actually going to be, the more further you're gonna go on your own spiritual path. It's a fantastic, because at the same time the sign, there is a very specific sign that you are going to have, and the sign that you are going to have, it's going to come at the moment in time when you're either like watching some kind of ritual, or either you're going to be watching something religious, or you're either going to be thinking about something ritualistic or something religious, something spiritual. Something very spiritual is going to be going on in your life, whether you're going to be watching this and connecting to it like there is no tomorrow, or whether you're going to be part of it, whether you're going to be thinking about it. It doesn't matter. At that moment in time when that spiritual that ritual that I'm talking about is going to affect you energetically so much, and there is going to be a very powerful sign, very strong sign that you are going to have, and the sign that you are going to have is just going to make you realize, on that moment in time, this is going to be very personal to you, and at the same time it's going to make you realize that there are certain blessings that are slowly coming into your life. But you will know, even more importantly, that you can only be happy and excited in your life when you allow yourself to be yourself, and do not allow other people to tamper with your own energy, because you will see that someone is really off, somebody who's in your life, it's very off, and it's like kind of draining your energy. So something karmically is slowly coming to an end with somebody very specific in your life, somebody who somebody who's around you, somebody who's physically around you, somebody you need to be careful, because that person at the same time, maybe it's not being completely honest as well. So if there is some kind of dealing of planning when it comes to that somebody that you're uncertain about, I think that you should just move on from that person, in particular if you are not kind of too fond of them, or in particular if you're feeling that something is not quite right. Most certainly you should move on from them. So when it comes to some kind of dealings this week, when it comes to some kind of like assigning something this week, you need to be just a little bit careful. Maybe avoid this week, maybe week after, but not this week. That's the best way to protect yourself, and this is what I would most certainly advise, and it's most certainly the best way to protect yourself from somebody like a little bit off. There is going to be the great lesson for you. So this is the bottom line, and it's the light at the end of the tunnel, because as soon as that person come to an end, there is a great life lesson that you are going to learn, that you are going to have, my gorgeous Scorpione, and this will be very, very important indeed. Two people in your life are two very special, very particular people, two very special, very particular people in your life are going to be looking up to you so much this week, without you even realizing, without even noticing, you know. So it's important for you to give your best, to do the most. And also, so these are two important people in your life. What else I was going to say, please try to be as creative as you possibly can. Someone is going to notice you. I know, someone is going to notice you. Very, very important. So be as creative as you can. And this goes like in such a broad world out there. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, it really depends. The more creative you are, the more energy you're gonna give, the more energy you're gonna the more you're gonna achieve, the more it's going to reflect back. But somebody very important, it's actually going to notice you. But this is a very positive experience that you are going to have. It's going to put a massive smile on your face, but at the same time it's going to be the relevant path, relevant spiritual bridge on the way to your own success, because later on this is going to be playing such a huge, giant, big mama like a role in your future. And when it comes to your future planning, when it comes to the certain changes that you will want to make, I just split this oracle card. Look, trust in magic, baby. I absolutely love crows. Crows are absolutely magical. You see them, magical little birds, you see. Some people think that they're negative, some people think that they're positive. It really depends, but they are magical creatures in so many different ways. The crows are like cats. They are aware of different worlds beyond. You know, the cats are aware of the worlds. They feel it like we feel it, but they opposed to us, they see it all the time. The cats have the ability to not only to feel the actual world beyond and a different energy and a different world, they actually have the physical ability to see the world beyond, to see the spirit, you know. And this is very, very powerful. So when it comes to crows, it's exactly the same thing. They live in both worlds, this world and the spirit world at the same time. So very often they're regarded as messengers, but most importantly, it's just like they see the different world, just like cats. I absolutely love them. So trust in magic, because something magical, my gorgeous Scorpione, is most certainly going to take place, okay? And you are going to surprise yourself the way things are going to unfold. So it's a great time to work on challenges and things like that. So I'm just going to shuffle now and take the oracle card for you, my gorgeous Scorpione. Here the ancient ones, my lord. You see, this is like also strongly you're gonna feel a very powerful connection with your spirits, very powerful connection with your ancestors, you know. And you will want to kind of like, this is going to reflect on you like a feeling in a very familiar way, you know, like a familiar way. I mean like a feeling like that you want to connect and reconnect with people, with your family, you know. Suddenly you're going to think about people that passed away and things like that. But most importantly, pay attention to signs. Most importantly this week also, if you have like a bit of you smell something and you can smell somebody's food when they used to be alive and things like that, just pay attention to all the sorts of signs that you can possibly have, because you will have a visit from the spirit world that is pretty much so connected to somebody who is like who used to know you, and they will have a very specific message for you, you know, the source of all. Look at this. They will have a very specific message for you, my gorgeous Scorpiona. Surrender to the flow. Very, very important. And in particular, it's to do with a certain problem that is just driving you nuts. Like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. So you see, surrender to the flow. This is going to be connected to the actual message that you're going to get from your spirit. Okay? So now, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Sagittarini. My gorgeous Sagittarius, my beautiful Sagittarini, I love you so much. I mean, this is going to be quite a busy week, and you are going to have a bit of surprise, you know, within the first 3 days. So 7, 8, and 9th, you know, of June 2021 are going to be ridiculously important. These 3 days, you must really have your eyes open, pay attention to signs, but most importantly, do not ignore, I repeat, do not ignore what is on your mind. because at the same time this is bringing you warning. You know, it's bringing you an opportunity, but it's also bringing you the certain warning. It's going to be connected to some kind of time span and the realization how long it's actually something going to take, and something is not going to make sense, and something is not going to add up, which is going to make you think, and it's going to make you wonder. It is very important not to ignore this, because your intuition is going to be like a big mama. Your intuition is going to be guiding you, and it's going to be very important at the same time. You know, this is going to be something that is going to help you to really make a necessary adjustment and readjustment on your spiritual journey. Ignore things that are bringing you down, but pay attention to things that are bringing you up. So it's an absolutely fantastic week to kind of like, when it comes to you, when it comes to like a future planning, what you're going to realize, use the power of this, my gorgeous Sagittarini, use the power of this week. What you're going to realize, as soon as you sit down and chill out and kind of relax a little bit, at the same time, you're going to realize that your mind is drifting, your mind is going really far, your mind is going very far, and your mind is going to go as far it has been like in a long time. Wherever you are, whatever you're trying to achieve, you need to make the most of it, because when your mind goes that far, when your planning goes that far, then at the same time there are things that come to you spontaneously, the realization that comes to you in such a spontaneous way. You know, you find yourself on a certain path, and when you're thinking about something, you go and get a glass of water or something, you know, at the same time, you know, you're still part of this incredible path, and it provides you with an opportunities and ideas that you must not ignore. These opportunities and ideas are going to become absolutely superb, you know, especially when it comes to the after this week. But the 13th of June, it's going to be playing an important role, because this vibration and energy is going to be really strong, and it's going to be pushing you towards the certain part of your life that you need to really kind of cut out. This is important because something came to an end. So if you don't notice this is only going to slow you down, and it's going to affect you in this particular way. Why is this happening? Well, because this is the day of your personal transformation, and after the 13th of June, this is the time when things are going to start unfolding for you and start rewarding you. But you just remember, it needs to get worse in order to get better. It's that type of situation. Certain things in life you can't most certainly kind of hurry, but what you can do is make the necessary changes in order to make your future more prominent, to make your future more successful, and to make your future more vivid. And when you make your future more vivid according to things that you're doing now and success that you want to make, you have got a very wonderful and powerful colors, you know, to connect to, that are guiding you at the same time. They make everything so much more colorful and wonderful, and that in return gives you the courage and excitement in those parts of your life where you wouldn't normally have a courage and excitement. And this happens when you are uncertain. So this is going to bring you lots of certainty, but also at the same time it's going to refresh you and remind you who you are, why you are so different, and also the beautiful moment in life. You are going to have such an experience, like a big mama, like ooh la la experience, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and that experience is going to open your eyes, and it's going to help you to see the beauty in life. It's going to help you to recognize this flow, and this flow is going to take over, and you're going to see that the things that were draining you like crazy are just going to slowly become irrelevant. Karmically, a lot is coming to an end in your life, but it's a lot down on this week and how you're going to respond to things, you know. My advice, my gorgeous Sagittarini, this week would be to just be as like kind of creative as you possibly can. Throw yourself into all sorts of situations. Like I say, creative. Sometimes people don't realize what the actual energy is doing. Have you got a garden? You can go and do some gardening, you know. That's being creative. Like every single day this week, you just need to kind of use your energy. Don't waste it, because as I said, the movement creates the energy, okay? And that particular energy is very special, is very specific, and it's very powerful, because at the same time it makes you not only magnetic and you bring very powerful things in your life, but also at the same time it brings you inspiration, and it highlights very important issue that you should be paying attention to, but also very important parts of of your life that need a little bit of water. The parts of your life that need a little bit of water, like a flower, a plant needs a water, are going to be highlighted when you find yourself thinking about your past, specific parts of your past that are going to be very relevant with the specific parts of your future, that are going to bring you an important insight. So this is the time when you're going to become aware of exactly what part of your life you should water a little bit, So now, and that also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is just basically about, you're going to find yourself like, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go there, but then you're going to find yourself like, thinking, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to achieve that. It's important not to bring yourself down. So there is going to be the moment where you're going to find yourself like being slightly darker when it comes to your own energy as well, at around midweek, But at the same time, what is more important is what you're going to be thinking about. It's to do with your future planning, but a little bit of like inconsistency is going to make you feel like, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. It's important to just kind of think about it, let it go, and not that long after that you're going to be inspired by somebody very powerful. The certain person is going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow, and that person is somebody very significant, a male person, very powerful person, very spiritual person, very quirky person, very different person. This person has got a really interesting balance of their own spirituality and success at the same time. You look up to them in many different ways, but that person is really going to inspire you in such a way where you're going to gather some kind of like an answer to your own situation that you absolutely, there is no way that you would be aware of before. So it doesn't really matter. So when you find yourself like wandering in half a path, how I'm going to do this, just remember that not that long after that, a certain person is going to be playing an important role where you are going to get a mind-blowing, life-changing answer that is going to be completely connected to your own situation. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards. La la la! My gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards. Okay, so now your oracle card for this week. Show that you care. Very important. I think that somebody needs a bit of your... Oh, sugar. Ouch, I just burned my hand. Somebody needs this fire. Somebody needs passion. Somebody needs somebody needs your attention, my gorgeous Sagittarini. This is important. You need to work out who this is. Whether this is a family member, your child, I'm not saying that you're not giving attention, don't get me wrong, but somebody in this week is going to need your attention, whether this is your family member, this is your friend, but someone is most certainly going to need your attention. Also, this can happen while you're maybe outside or somewhere and somebody's like struggling, and then if you can help to someone, I'm not saying that you wouldn't help, but if you can help someone, just help them, because you will have a situation where you're going to need to kind of realize this, you're going to need to open your eyes. So this is either going to be somebody who's going to need your attention, either somebody in your life, or it's going to be somebody who you come across. This is an important part of your spiritual journey. Very soon you're going to be rewarded for this. You just need to be share your thoughts. All you need to do is just to be honest, be kind of like a talkative, be open-minded. And just be yourself. Basically, this is what your own spirit requires from you. And at the same time, you will know exactly there is a certain sacrifice that you are going to need to make, and this is all part of your spiritual journey that is most certainly going to reward you, and it's not even going to be that long. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Capricornius. My gorgeous Capricorn, I love you so much. I mean, who in this world is not going to benefit from this energy if you are not? You are very, I said this so many times, and I'm sorry I have to say it, because we have got such a powerful number when it comes to the astral numerology, and I always go mental when we have number 7 or number 13 actually involved. How we have number 7 at the beginning of this week, and number 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the 13, it's at the end of this week. I mean, this is a big mama when it comes to you, because you are just suddenly going to kind of come to terms with something, you know, suddenly, just out of the blue. And 7th and 8th and 9th, you need to pay attention to this, you know, what it is exactly that you are going to come to terms with. You know, you are going to have your own spiritual enlightenment. Something is going to happen. You will see something and you're going to be able to connect, and that connection is going to be beneficial to your own reconnection deep within. So therefore, this in itself is going to really help make you realize, you know, the certain part of yourself that you need to pay attention to. It's going to help you to move on with your life, but also, most importantly, it's going to bring you like the mind-blowing confirmation, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is a very, very important. So 7th, 8th, and 7, 8, 9, I would say 7th of June, 8th of June, and 9th of June. These 3 days are going to be super, super significant when it comes to you. It's like a little spiritual, look, how do I explain it? It's like a little spiritual moment, spiritual enlightenment that you are going to have, and that in itself, it's just going to kind of like gonna make you feel like just out of the blue very excited about taking the certain role, like in a challenging way when it comes to your life. When it comes to the certain challenge, you're gonna become very excited, opposed to like feeling like, oh, really low. And this is when you're gonna see that things are slowly changing. This is important because at the same time you need to be aware of the fact that this is going to shape the rest of your year. This is literally going to shape the rest of your year. So what I advise you, my gorgeous Capricornians, throughout this week, as much as you possibly can, please do not ignore signs. I'm not saying that you're ignoring signs, but if you see the numbers repeating, like, please, if you see the numbers repeating like a 777, 1313, 111, you know, 333, any combination of these numbers that is repeating, you need to know that you are karmically, energetically, dimensionally very close to something that you have never been close to ever before in your life. Something is going to take place that you've never felt before, but it's most certainly going to be an important step when it comes to the actual your progress and taking and making the next steps towards the situation and a part of your life that you never thought about before, which is going to become strongly obvious at around the 12th and the 13th of June. By the time you get to the 13th of June, this is all about your personal power, about your transformation, being very high, being very strong, being very powerful, but yet again, it's going to give you the necessary strength and courage to actually realize that a certain part of your life you should really ignore because it's draining your energy and it's becoming like a too big mama now for your liking. So now you need to really realize what this is. The certain part of your life is draining your energy and you should just be ignoring it from now on. It's now more important than ever. As I said, that in itself, it's going to help you to reconnect with yourself, but also it's going to open your eyes and it's going to give you an important idea. This idea is probably the biggest mama when it comes to this reading. This idea is going to be everything. This idea is going to be huge. This idea is going to be significant. This idea is literally going to change your life. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not even going to seem like something really huge. It's gonna seem something very tiny and something very insignificant. It's almost like a part of the little adjustment that you need to make, little readjustment that you need to make, almost like more than an idea, you know. And then as the time goes by, you will realize that this was actually an idea. You will be in two different worlds at the same time, my gorgeous Capricornius, and this is why you're going to find this so beneficial. beneficial. You're going to turn into the little cat. You're going to turn into the actual little crow. And if you see the cat in a strange and unusual way, if you see the crow in a strange and unusual way, just pay attention, because they are bringing you an important message, and that's the part of your dimension, because you're very spiritually advanced. You're very powerful in that way. So if you see the cat or if you see the crow, you will know that they're your messengers. And of course you can see cat everywhere. Like for example, I see the cat. No, baby, no. You will know that this is your sign. Maybe the cat is going to look bizarre. Maybe the cat is going to look strange. Maybe the cat is going to look weird. Maybe the cat is going to have strange colors. Maybe the cat is going to look at you. You will know it's the part of your dimension. Or if you see the crow, you see the crow, it's just a flight, it just lands down in front of you. You will just know that this is your sign. You will know that this is important. The crows and cats are very powerful spiritual beings, and they are our messengers. The reason why they're so powerful and the reason why they're so different and significant is because both cats and crows have the ability to feel the world beyond this world and the spirit world. At the same time, they live just like you, Capricornians. They live in this world and the spirit world at the same time. You do too. But sometimes only in weeks like this becomes obvious, this becomes evident, and other time it's not as such, not as much, but this week it's going to become evident. So only every now and then you become aware of it, because it becomes evident. It's almost impossible to ignore. So the cats and the crows, they live in this world and the spirit world at the same time. Not only that, they feel things, they see things, okay? So this is the difference. They see things. Not only they live in this world and the spirit world at this they live in this world and the spirit world at the same time, but they actually see the spirits, okay? So this is the power that crows and cats actually have. They have got the ability to see them. So this is why it's a very strong connection when it comes to these beauties being our personal messengers. So if you do see the cat or a crow, I mean, come on, my lord, even if you see it, like for example, like maybe you could see it online somewhere, maybe you could see it like on TV or something, it really depends how this is going to become the part of your dimension as well. It can happen in such a complex way when it comes to a spiritual journey, but at the same time you need to pay attention to exactly for once to see what was on your mind, and the specific problem, specific situation is going to be resolved. So they're trying to pay attention to, they're trying to make you to pay attention to it as well. But also, they're bringing you a very important warning, okay? But a good warning, they're going to prepare you for something very important that is coming, and it's going to require from you to step through and to step forward, to open your eyes and to pay attention to things around you, because something very, very important is coming, and it's just on you to actually pay attention to it, because they want to warn you. It's very easy to kind of like ignore it and not to pay attention to it and not to notice it. So that's why they are going to be right there to make you aware of a very big and important opportunity that is going to come, and it's going to require from you to make the next step, the necessary steps, but you will know exactly when this is going to be, my gorgeous Capricornians. So this is what I wanted you to know. Look at this also. Look, when it comes to the actual specific message from this absolutely gorgeous like animal messages, my gorgeous Capricornians, see, nourish the soul. That's your oracle card. Remarkable. You will feel something that you didn't feel in a long time, and that in itself is also going to become like your spiritual petrol. It's going to highlight the parts of your life that you need to pay attention to. When you see the crow or a cat, it's going to highlight the parts of your life that you need to pay attention to, that are so important, big mama parts of your life that are going to nourish your soul at the same time. It's need and necessity. It's needed and necessary when it comes to your spiritual journey. Sometimes it's a bit of a yin-yang moment that you're going to have, and sometimes you've got like in a little bit of good is bad and a little bit of bad is good type of thing. So something it's going to like still kind of make you, I'm not too sure, but at the same time it's time to ground yourself. Very, very important, my gorgeous Capricornius, indeed. And on another hand, you know, what else I was going to kind of warn you, that somebody is going to try to wind you up. Somebody's almost like going to try to have a little fight with you. So just be aware of it. Rise on top, okay? Someone is going to try to wind you up. Whether this is the person that you know, whether this is somebody that's going to challenge you when you go somewhere, you know, or, you know, just be aware of this. And your job, again, is like to rise above it. Like rise above it as much as you can. You do not want to go low, because if you do, you're just going to waste your energy. So I just prepare you now, and I warn you now that somebody's going to try to wind you up. Maybe you will try to do something important. Maybe you will try to like kind of achieve something. You know, this is all part of your journey. So if somebody trying to wind you up, just remember my gorgeous words, and then you just like kind of, yeah, you know, you just respond complete opposite, and that way you're just going to protect yourself, protect your energy, protect your present moment, and most certainly protect your future. Very important, my gorgeous Capricornians, indeed. And also, you know, it is the time of the actual transformation. Very strongly, I have got repeated 1313 now again. So if you do see very strongly this combination of numbers repeating, also just pay attention to specifically like transformation is coming, and what is needed from you, it's going to become obvious. So this is the time of the actual the time to pay attention to your own transformation, time to pay attention to what would you like to cut out of your life, time to pay attention to what you need to do, what should you do around you in order to make you make yourself feel happy, like a smudge your home, change things around. This is all going to be beneficial when it comes to your personal energy. Okay, so now I'm just going to do one more, just an oracle card, one more for you, my gorgeous Capricorn. Embrace spirit. You see, surprise, surprise. You know, pay attention to what makes you happy now more than ever. You need to think about yourself before you think everybody else, my gorgeous babies. This is something I need you to remember. You need to heal yourself, and then you can heal others. You see, important, you know, when it comes to the actual your life and spiritual journey. So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Aquarius. You know, Aquamarinis, you have been through so much. This life is not meant to be easy, and you know, there has been a little bit of a fog, there has been a little bit of a darkness, and that most certainly affected you quite a lot, because you don't like when you lose the sense when it comes to your future and when it comes to your future planning. But if the things are a little bit clouded around us, then it's very difficult from us to kind of plan and to see what the next step is, because it's draining our energy in a very specific and a very strange way, which reflects on us being quite indecisive in those parts of our lives that we should be very decisive about. What I absolutely love about this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, is the fact that you are going to start feeling very much so really reborn, like re-energized, regenerized. I really like this. This is the time of your personal rebirth. This is the time of your personal transformation, okay? 7th, 8th and 9th of June 2021 are gonna be mind-blowing days, because they are going to bring you a very important news about your own personal advancement, and you are actually going to find yourself much higher, much further than you thought that you would have been, and that is karmically and spiritually going to reward you in such a way where you're going to see things for like, oh my god, what they are. Not that you weren't aware about around certain things in your life, but it's just the necessary energy, the excess of energy that you're going to feel is just going to bring you even further. It's going to help you for your wings, you know, to grow even more powerful, which means that you're going to become aware of the situation in your life, but almost like if you're someone else looking at your situation, and that is a very specific moment that you're going to have. It's like almost as if you're talking to somebody else, and then that person just gives you like a really nice advice, somebody really important in your life. So these are the eyes that you're going to be able to look at your own situation. Eyes, like almost like as if you're looking at your situation through the different eyes, and this is so important because you are going to become aware of something very specific, very powerful, in particular when it comes to healing your life. What part of your life needs healing? You know, what part of your life needs your energy? What parts of your life needs kind of like you to project your energy towards, you know. And the more you do this, the more you kind of focus on it, the more re-energized you are going to be, and the more you're going to be moving on towards your own personal rebirth. Because what is actually going to take place by the end of the week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you know, the last 2 days are going to be mind-blowing. The last 2 days of this week are literally going to change your life. Not that everything is going to be changed, like, oh my god, it's all different. No, baby, no. But the specific situation, the specific realization, it's going to open your eyes like never before. And most certainly, you will see what was draining your energy so badly. You will see exactly what was affecting you so badly. But most importantly, the opportunity within is just going to be like, oh my lord, like a big mama moment. Because that opportunity in itself is going to help you to kind of like go over things that you were worrying about. That opportunity is going to help you to move on. That opportunity is strongly connected to the next step in your life, but you just have to believe in yourself, and you just also have to give a credit to yourself where it's due. And you know what? You are going to have a moment like very, very spiritual moment, you know. Now going back to the 7th, you know, the 7th of June, from the moment you wake up, the 7th and 8th of June, I really, really like it. From the moment you wake up on the 7th of June, you just please, at the moment you wake up, pay attention to if you remember your dreams, but if you don't remember your dreams, pay attention to what was on your mind. The very first thing on your mind on the 7th of June, it's very important because that very first thing, it's also going to answer your question, but it's also going to be super relevant when it comes to the actual future planning, and when it comes to you making a rather important decision that before you would be like absolutely no, but now you will know exactly what to do. So on the 7th of June, most strongly and specifically pay attention to what is the first thing on your mind in the morning, but also throughout the day. Pay attention to signs, pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention on the 7th of June, like any number 777 repeating, 13 and 13 repeating, 111 repeating, 333 repeating. Every single time when you see this is also going to be connected to you, basically, pretty much so. It's just going to, as soon as you see these numbers repeating, you will know that there is, you know, you need to, first of all, you need to pay attention to what is on your mind. Okay, very important to pay attention to. This is how you will know, but at the same time you will know that this something very important is coming up to you when these numbers are repeating. So it's not only to pay attention to what was on your mind, you know, what were you thinking, which problem you had, what were you focusing on, but also at the same time, very soon after you see these numbers, there is going to be an opportunity that you will notice, that you will recognize. But the power of this magic is that you wouldn't normally recognize and notice this opportunity, because you're going to find yourself being part of the vibration very high up indeed, that is going to help you to connect to it. And this is all coming from the higher state of consciousness that you are going to have, which is going to be very specific and very powerful throughout this week. Straight away on the 8th of June, my gorgeous Aquamarini, on the 8th of June, I really like it. You know, there is going to be very important information and confirmation that you are going to have. A lot is going to be going on the 8th and the 9th and the 10th of June, but most certainly 8th of June is going to be going to be playing an important role. Let me tell you this. You will be tested on the 8th of June, and this is an important day, because the more you do, the more you make, the more you create, the more it's going to get back to you. So it's the same when it comes to your energy. You need to understand a lot is going to be going on. You need to understand whatever you start, you need to finish Okay, but at the same time you need to understand to stay committed to the task at hand, please, because I can see very strong possibility that you're going to be working on something very important here, but there is a lot going to be going on, and somebody, some little devilish person is going to try to take your attention away, and it shouldn't. And that person, maybe you're going to become aware of who that person is, because that little bastard is going to be draining your energy, you know, somebody in your life, and that is going to be double whammy for you, because you're going to realize this. But most importantly, it's just basically, my gorgeous aquamarine, that you know, you just need to understand that somebody is going to be testing you and draining your energy, but it's not about that little bastard. It's not about that person. It's more about what you were focusing on. You need to pay attention to, I hope you understand, but it's more about what you were working on, what you were focusing on. Just remember, stay committed to the task at hand, because you will be tested. And somebody whom you are like probably like emotionally connected, it's going to be like kind of draining you quite a lot, and that is going to take your attention away. And then you're like, no baby, no, you just wait there, baby, okay? And then you just carry on with your being committed to the task at hand, because that is going to really show you the way, and it's going to reward you later on, and it's most certainly going to help you to see yourself from you know, from your own future. Almost it's like as if like this is going to help you to connect yourself to your future, and to see yourself from the future, and almost that you're going to get some kind of message through that. Very deep, very important, very powerful. And also you need to remember to trust in magic, okay? On another hand, my gorgeous aquamarine, you know, it's just like a basically you're gonna have a moment like you know, where your patience is going to be tested as well at around the mid-June as well, and your patience is going to be tested, and you will want to kind of like make a really big move when it comes to planning, when it comes to future, when it comes to financial situation, and you will want to rush with something. No baby, no, you do not rush with anything, please, you know, because it's going to be a bit of a tricky situation that you're going to have, and it's just to do with the finances, and maybe to do with the financial upsetness, you know. Is this even a word, financial upsetness? You know, it's like to do with the financial upsetness, you know. It's like something is going to upset you, and it's going to make you really worried financially. But that again, you know, in between the line, you're going to realize something very important when it comes to your future and what direction to take later on. There are two paths that are going to be revealed through this situation, but most importantly, I want you to understand, if you feel pressure towards something, just like kind of like maybe avoid, you know, it's to do with the finances, financial situation, where you're going to be worrying a little bit, you know. This in itself is showing me and telling me that it's not the best week, you know, to kind of like buy something huge, buy something massive, buy something enormous, you know. It's the great week, you know. Opposed to that is the week for planning, because the more you plan, the more you kind of like give to yourself time to think, and it's going to go much further, you know, than you could possibly imagine. So this is going to reflect. But most certainly, if you feel like a rush towards something, you know, you just kind of take a step back, and you will see a couple of weeks later the situation is going to be completely different. So it is not a great week, the best week to kind of like throw your money away. I'm not saying that you're throwing your money away, but it's not a great week to buy something big or something like that. Opposed to that, when we have the situations, then it means that it's a fantastic week for planning, because the more you kind of like chill out and think about your future. When I say planning, I'm not thinking like, oh, take a paper and write things down. No baby, no. But as long as you use this wonderful vibration, this magical flow of planning, which reveals, you know, directions and situations that we wouldn't normally be aware of. So, you know, the more you kind of like just kind of think about, should I do this, should I do that, you already start the process of revelation that is going to come to you and float towards you. So by the time you get to the actual 13th of June 2021, it's all about your own transformation. You will know exactly on the 13th of June what needs to go. You will know exactly on the 13th of June what you need to cut out of your life nicely and slowly. What is your draining your energy, and what karmically came to an end. I know I said this millions of times, my gorgeous aquamarines, but this is a very specific and important part of your spiritual journey that I simply need to let you know. Okay, so now Okay, I know that you're going to be, I also see like a little bit of financial, like maybe you will financially worry, something to do with the finances that is going to make you worry, but then again, you just kind of like have to like ignore it, and basically when it comes to that, when it happens, just go around and don't bring yourself down or anything like that. Just try to kind of like immediately focus on those things in your life that can maybe make you feel better financially, and you can almost do something like almost immediately that can make you feel better in terms of planning, in terms of success, in terms of your focusing on a certain direction of your life, and that in itself is almost immediately going to kind of shift you up, you know, lift you up from this negative energy. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card of the week. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarini, what is going to be your oracle card of the week? Let your emotions flow. What else would my gorgeous aquamarini have than the actual let your emotions flow? You look at this, the third psychic eye is going to be like a big mama. You are really going to be aware of things that you haven't been aware of before. You're going to realize things that you didn't realize before. Strongly, you're going to kind of know who is good in your life and who is bad in your life, who is positive in your life and who is negative in your life, you know. You will know that you are wasting maybe your energy with a certain person when it comes to your life. By the same time, you will become aware of the fact and realize how important it is to be yourself. I mean, you're very powerful, you're very kind of quirky, you're very different, you're very unique in so many different ways. You've got a power, you can change things with a snap of a finger, which is one of your powers, and it's very powerful. But this is going to lead towards you respecting your boundaries. You're going to become aware of your boundaries, and somebody will start crossing them. Okay? So you need to respect your own boundaries, because if you do not respect your own boundaries, other people will not respect it, you see? And this will also serve like an example for others. Indeed. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Pisces. I love you so much, my gorgeous Piscelini. I mean, I was just smiling from the moment in time, from the beginning when I took these magical cards out, because you probably have the most powerful and the most significant cards in this reading. And this does not surprise me. You are very emotional, and your emotions are your power. Okay, your emotions are your energy. Your energy creates your psychic abilities. Your psychic abilities are basically your intuition. This is all going to be highlighted so much this week. Why? Because you're very powerful when it comes to this. You're very psychic. You know, you notice things that other signs don't notice. Not only when it comes to my gorgeous plants, not only when it comes to the details that we see, but also when it comes to spirituality and intuition. You are exactly the same. You are aware of things that other signs, it takes them a little bit longer to become aware of. So this is something, this is your great quality. You see, this is what makes you unique. This is what makes you powerful. So you don't only notice like things like around you, like in art and things like that, but you're also aware of things spiritually. Okay, you're aware of things like psychically, okay, intuitionally, when it comes to your intuition, making up my own words. When it comes to your intuition, all these things takes into account, in particular when it comes to this week. Why? Because this week is starting on the 7th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and it's finishing on the 13th of June. So it's in between the 7th and the 13th of June, which means that you are going to have such a beautiful, emotional, remarkable, mind-blowing experience. And this experience that you are going to take, it's going to happen in between 7th, 8, 9, 10, and 11. In between the 7th and the 11th of June, you are going to have a mind-blowing spiritual experience. This is going to be so emotional. This is going to awaken you. This is going to be your spiritual awakening. In particular, by the time you get to the actual 11th of June, it's like, oh my God. not only you're having your spiritual awakening on this day, but this number, it's all about you. It's all about your uniqueness. It's all about your spiritual awakening. It's all about your power. It's all about your energy. It's all about your psychic mind. It's all about your next step. It's all about an important revelation. It's all about completely different dimension that is going to allow you to connect and reconnect and see things from a completely different angle. And this is going to bring you such a big moment, because by the time you come to the actual 13th of June, you're just going to realize exactly what needs to be cut out of your life, because something will need to go. And this is the part of your process. This is the part of your transformation that I'm talking about, because number 13, it's all about your transformation, but it's all about the surprising situation that is actually going to take place on the 13th of June that is really going to surprise you, like, oh my God. But then again, it's just going to put you even closer towards the part of your life that you should be closer towards, and it's going to help you to kind of make a very important decision when it comes to your future planning. So this is all going to be connected. Do you understand what I mean? So the 13th of June, it's going to bring a very surprising situation. Something is really going to surprise you, like, oh my Lord, like a big mama. But then at the same time, this is going to be remarkable because it's going to even more open your eyes, and it's going to put you closer towards the part of your life that you need to cut out in order to go through your own process of your own rebirth. Because now, my gorgeous Pisces, you're going to become aware of the fact that you reached the full circle, and this is what it happens when you reach the full circle. And this is why I said that this week is going to be remarkable when it comes to you, because it's going to reflect on you in such a powerful way. Because if anyone, you know, you are most certainly going to make the most of it, because at the same time, you know, inspiration is going to be flowing, you know, and inspiration, and then at the same time surprise, like, how come that you're inspired by this? How come that you're inspired by that? How come that you've got courage to go towards this way? How come that you've got the courage to go towards that way? How come that you found an energy to do this? You know, all these things are going to take place. All these things are going to happen. So which means that at the same time, you just need to pay attention to signs, pay attention to how you feel, and pay attention to what is persistently on your mind, because this is how you get these sacred messages. It's persistently going to be repeating in your mind, because you are ignoring the certain part of yourself that you should not be ignoring it. And now it has been a while. The missing part of your life, the missing part of yourself, it's about to return. You may not feel completely happy. Okay, and this is affecting your balance, and your happiness depends on this. So you are at around the midweek, you know, you're gonna have a moment where you're gonna feel a little bit of nostalgic, but this in itself, it's not about what exact part of your life you're thinking about in your past, but it's what you feel, and that is gonna help you to reconnect and connect, and it's going to remind you how things used to be, and then something is gonna bounce back, and you're gonna realize, why are you not doing this? Why are you not going that way? Why are you not going that way? Why are you slowing yourself down? It's important, because it's going to create a big moment when you're going to realize a huge part of the picture that was missing, puzzle that was missing, is about to land. And once that puzzle lands, the picture is going to be completely different, you know, completely different. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, and exactly what it happens when you reach the end of your spiritual journey, and now the new journey is about to start. 13th of June, it's not only going to be transformational moments in time, but it's the beginning of the actual opportunities that are going to come to you, you know, from the 13th of June onwards. You know, it's not only about this week, from the 13th of June, like 3 days later as well, also these 3 days, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, until the 17th of June, it's all about the opportunities. So we are slowly going into the next week, so it's all about the opportunities, all about the possibilities, all about your own abilities that are going to be highlighted, but most certainly about the specific opportunity that is going to be like a big mama. It's going to take over, because it's also going to be directly connected to the actual of your past, and it's all going to be making sense, because it is just going to start a process of your own spiritual domino. You start one thing, and this takes you away, and it never brings you back, and most certainly it takes you towards the direction where you should have gone towards. Okay, so this is very, very important, and you must not ignore the missing part of you. What was missing missing in your life, it's about to slowly bounce back and slide in. Very, very important. And it's going to happen with the process when you feel very much so nostalgic about your past. This is what I was talking about. Okay, so now also, my gorgeous Pisces, you know what? It's just basically an inspiration. This week it's going to bring you a mind-blowing inspiration. This week it's going to make you feel really good. This week is going to make you feel really great. It's going to make you feel a little bit strange and bizarre, but then again, it's going to make you feel great because you are going to feel the return of energy you haven't felt in a long time. And this, my babies, it's going to bring you the fire within. You're going to feel the fire within. What do I mean by this? You're going to feel the passion, very powerful passion within. That passion is going to be your inspiration. That passion is going to be your starting point. That passion is going to open your eyes. That passion is going to re-energize you. That passion is going to motivate you. This is something so important because at the same time, you're about to find yourself at the beginning of something so sacred. You will feel the feeling and energy that you didn't feel in a long time. Maybe you never felt it before, but it's going to be remarkable. And that in itself, that passion, that inspiration, it's going to put you on a path where you're going to have so much courage, when you're going to kind of find yourself being the part of the situation completely unplanned, completely. So whether this is going to be at home, whether this is going to be outside, you are going to find yourself being completely in the situation or part of the situation or even part of the group of people where you did not plan whatsoever. And that in itself is going to trigger something within you, and it's going to bring this certain energy of uncertainty and surprise, which is going to require from you to respond to the specific situation. Just pay attention, please. It's required from you to respond in a specific situation. This is going to be your step through. This is going to be your step forward. This is the part of your next step, which is going to surprise you, the way you're going to respond. But this response is going to be absolutely everything. My gorgeous Pisces, this is to do with your own wheel of fortune. This is to do with your own change. This is to do with an important moment, an important news, when a very sad and heavy and dark part of your life is slowly coming to an end. Okay? And this is important because this is when the positivity and peace, it's about to start. The certain, an important conclusion is going to take place, but most certainly, things are going to start looking better. This is going to re-energize you like there is no tomorrow. It's going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow, and it's most certainly going to be super kind of connected to your future planning. I really like this because it's about to re-energize you, and it's most certainly about to change the rest of the year. The rest of the year is going to be changed for you, my gorgeous Pisces, purely because of this particular moment. This Wheel of Fortune is marking the end of sad and negative times, but also it's bringing you the mind-blowing opportunity, which is about to change the rest of your year. Okay, so look at this now. Opportunity, mind-blowing opportunity. Embrace your spirit. You just have to be yourself. You just have to allow your spirit to shine. Okay, you just have to let yourself to be you, and at the same time see the signs, very important signs. So even if you find yourself being like, oh God, I'm uncertain, there is uncertainty that you are going to feel, and when you feel this uncertainty, just remember, see the signs. Okay, very specific sign you're going to have. Throughout the week, it's going to happen, whether this is going to be at 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the evening, or 7:27 or 7:77. At some point at 7 o'clock, something is going to make sense here. Something is going to be very strong. Something is going to become obvious to you. At 7 o'clock in the morning or at 7 o'clock in the evening, any variation of this number, 7:27, 7:17, 7:07, in the morning or in the evening, any combination of this number, as soon as you become aware of it, without thinking, then you will know, see the sign, because an important revelation is going to take place. And that revelation, it's at the same time going to mark the beginning of you seeking your own destiny. Very, very important, my gorgeous Piscelini, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you, and I hope you like my gorgeous new shirt. Look at this that I've designed, and this is the Hermit, okay, gorgeous Hermit. And if you would like to buy this, the link is going to be in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous people, you're also supporting my channel as well. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous people. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.